What's going on, everybody? Welcome to What Up Clay. This channel we talk about all kinds of things, how to fix things, build things, maintain things, as well as product review. This right here is a product review on the Jerry. Now, this right here is the original Jerry. There's been other Jerrys that came out that was redesigned and updated it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through it, and I'll introduce the newer model and tell you exactly why the Jerry is why it's such a good thing to have. Alright, let's get into this. So before I show you the other Jerrys, let me kind of explain why the Jerry is useful. What's the benefits of having the Jerry? So let's say you have a couple of different motors and you want to know which one's going to be best for the track that you're at. Here's two motors, for example. Here you have the Surpass Lightweight, and you have the Surpass Stock Spec right here. The Lightweight, it has about 1500 RPMs more, but this one has more torque. So, but you want to know which one, how much of a difference would it be in the torque, or if you have a different rotor, how would that rotor perform compared to the rotor that you currently have? You know, if you have multiple rotors, basically how would it work on the track for you? So with the Rotor Master, is this right here, you have the two motors going here, they slide in, and then they link with a coupler, right? So when this motor right here spins, this motor right here, it'll spin this motor, the slave motor, and so the slave motor is hooked up to resistors, which will in turn, this right here, generate electricity coming out. It'll go to the resistors, and then the resistors would cause resistance, which would then make the slave motor harder to turn. Well, the faster you turn the slave motor, the more resistance you get on the motor. Hope that makes sense. So if I'm testing a motor, and this motor here says running 20,000 RPMs, and let's say I have this Tegan motor here, it's running 22,000 RPMs. Now, how much torque does this have? I can hook it up to this, and it's automatically going to have a bigger amp draw, because this is going to be spinning the slave motor faster. So it's going to be generating more energy. So it's not going to give you an accurate or very good understanding on which motor actually has the most torque. So with the Jerry, what the Jerry does is you put the slave motor on this side, and then you have your other motor on this side. You put a big spur gear on this one here, on the slave motor, and on this one, on the drive motor, you'll have your pinion gear, where you can adjust the pinion gears for the to spin the slave motor the speed that you need to get up to where this one and this one are showing the same amp draw, the same overall RPMs. You know, spin this the same RPMs, and so on. You don't necessarily have to. You don't need a tachometer like what I have here hooked up to a gear. I mean, you can hook up a voltage meter up to these right here, and you'll get your voltage. If it's showing the same voltage here, that means this is spinning the same RPMs. So then once you get to going to the same RPMs, well, the slave motor, once the slave motor is going to the same RPMs, you take a look to see what the amp draw is. Now you look at this one right here. Remember, this one right here is about 22,000 RPMs. Well, the amp draw on it is now going to be about, let's say, 12 amps. This one right here, you're now spinning this at the same RPM as this one, even though you had to gear it up more, but you're drawing, let's say, 11 amps. That means this motor here has more torque, it has more power to give. So that's what's nice about the Jerry. If you're trying to compare motors for certain tracks, Like a bigger track, wider open track will require a higher RPM motor, where a short, twisty, high traction track, you want something with a lot of torque. So that's the purpose of the Jerry. That's what makes these the Jerry nice to have and very convenient and very handy to have. So, all right, without further ado, let me introduce you to the newer versions. This one here, this is version 1, obviously. I made this one. I didn't think anybody would be interested in having one of these things, so I didn't even think about doing a mass production or anything like that. Anyways, I made this one here so that I can slide around and adjust the gears. Anyhow, like I said, there's been some interest in it. Some other people want to do the same thing, because if you're racing on carpet, if you're racing on clay, if you're racing on road or loose dirt, you want a specific motor with a certain amount of torque and certain RPM. So my buddy over at WMH Racing, he came out with a newer version. This is version 2. The biggest difference between these two is, number one, the resistor pack, which this one here on mine is on the outside. The resistor packs for this one is on the inside. To adjust the motor position, mine you can adjust both. However, it's not really necessary. I've never had to adjust this side. But when I do adjust it, I only have to adjust one screw on each side. This one's 4 screws. It doesn't make that big of a difference. It's just a little bit, takes a little bit of a time to adjust the 4. But this one right here, also when you play it, because the resistor in here, this is hollow, it became really noisy because it's hollow inside, a lot of echo and so on. But so this is just a prototype. So now we have the final portion. This one here, this is the final one. Now the biggest issue with the Jerry on this version here is the motors. When you put them inside, there's a lot of side-to-side play. You can see right there in the video, see it, a lot of side-to-side play right there. So when it spins, especially if you're doing a 64 tooth pinion, you're going to strip your gears out. Anyhow, this one here, the upgrade, what he did is he put holes in the side here, so it allows the cooling air for the resistor pack, because this will get warm if you use it a lot, and it also helps remove some of the echo sound that was coming from the other one. You know, it's kind of like a guitar. You know, it's hollow. It sounds real hollow. It makes noise and it gets loud. Also, if you notice, the pigtails come out the front versus the back. This one here, pigtails came out the back. That's really nice, because now you can just plug it right into your tunalizer or whatever you have that's right here in the front. Another thing that he did with this is he moved the motor contacts onto the bottom, because on the top there's a plate right here. You see this plate right here that goes up and down when you turn this knob. It'll cause this plate to go up and down. That plate in there, what it does is you just cinch it down on the motor. Don't make it too tight, because the nut in this is just a pressed in nut. It's in plastic. If you do it too hard, it's going to pull it right out of the plastic. But you don't have to anyway, because as you can see there, I'm wiggling it pretty good and it's not moving. One thing moving is the base itself, but as you see here, I'm moving it side to side. There's nothing. So you can now use 64 pitch gears. But you can pick these things up from WMH Racing. There are, I believe there's another company out there also does it. I don't remember the name of them, but I think it's DRC. Carries these as well. But anyhow, you go to WMH Racing, check him out. He has all the cool motor holders, tools, and stuff like that I use. Anyhow, I hope you liked the video. Hope this helped you, intrigued you. Definitely get one of these if you want to be able to pick a right motor for right track and know the difference between one rotor versus another rotor. I mean, that's what makes it. That's the best thing that this thing's can be used for, is when you're comparing rotors. Lighter weight rotor compared to a heavyweight rotor, and so on. But anyhow, if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, hit the like and subscribe anyway, so you can make fun of all my other videos. Alright, everybody, you take care.